Good morning, CCA. Today we are at Mr. Adamson's lair and we're interviewing the man himself about boys volleyball. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get right to it. So, Mr. Adamson, what are your general thoughts going into this volleyball season?
I'm excited. I'm excited for a change. Adding another sport in the spring to get more people more involved. Also get more people who want to do something different. I think that's always good to have. Because we already have very great successful programs with softball, rebuilding baseball, and adding other sports like track and especially flag football. But adding boys volleyball, because volleyball is a very popular sport as it is, and with the success of our girls volleyball team, I think we have a great turnout and great positivity towards the community.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, Mr. Adamson, what are some student responses that have occurred, in the student body? How are they taking this?
I mean, okay, so last year, I'll be honest. So last year was my first year, right? Mm-hmm. And towards the end of the winter season, everyone's like, a lot of the guys, boys, came to me and said, "Hey, can we do boys volleyball? Can we do boys volleyball?" And I said, "Did you ever have it before?" No. I said, "Well, it's kind of late, but it also is a good idea. I think it's very popular. If you look around." Colleges, okay, it's one of the most popular sports in colleges. It's actually the third most popular sport around the world. Okay,
wow.
At least last time I looked, I think it's definitely one of the top 5. But even a lot of basketball players in the past, like Will Chamberlain, he was a professional volleyball player as well.
Wow,
with the track side. So it is a popular sport, and I think bringing it here really opens the door opening for the sport itself. Just getting through the door. So far it's been positively, and the boys wanted to start it. A lot of people wanted to try something new, and they just like to see what the girls had and the energy of people coming, and I think they want the same. And I think that's great. Volleyball is different. Watching the girls, our girls volleyballs are seasoned. They've been playing for a long time. They've been playing since they were younger. So our boys volleyball team, they think they just hit the ball over the net, right?
Yeah.
It's not like that. There's a lot of skill, there's strategy behind it, and I think we have a good coaching staff, and it seems like we have a lot of athletes who are dedicated to learn.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. And speaking of coaching staff, who will be the coach for men's volleyball? So
the coaching staff for boys volleyball is going to be the coaching staff that is from girls volleyball. So our Coach Molly, she was the assistant coach for varsity, girls varsity, and the head coach for our JV.
Okay.
And in middle school. Okay. So she's very well known. She's actually was state ranked in high school. She's very knowledgeable. She had a very successful JV season this year, and so she's going to take over the head coaching position for boys.
Okay.
Okay. She's very good at teaching new players the rules of the game. I mean, look at what our JV team, or last year our JV team didn't have a very good success, and then this year they had a winning season.
Yeah.
And then their assistant coach is going to be Coach Manley, who was the head coach for our girls. So I think it'll be a good transition. They work very well together. I mean, I see them once a week anyway, and they call, always updating. So they're very dedicated to both girls and boys volleyball, and they just wanted to make sure to get this program growing specifically for Cornerstone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's great news. So, Mr. Adamson, what will be the dress code, for men's volleyball? What uniforms are we expecting to see?
That's a good question. So, for girls and boys, obviously the uniforms are different. Okay, we are sponsored by Under Armour, so they're going to be wearing Under Armour, but the dress code all through the school, or all through the state, is basically they're going to be wearing shirtless T-shirts and really shorts. Okay. All Under Armour, the number, Cornerstone, kind of the same color scheme as their girls. We want to kind of keep it consistent. But it's more of it's very simple. It's not very complicated. It's just very simple. So I would probably say, if any of you guys planning on joining the volleyball team, might want to do some push-ups, because it's sun's out, guns out, right?
All right.
It's beach season, so that's what it's going to look like.
All right, well. Yeah, so about the dates, I'm sure a lot of people are dying to know when, tryouts and first game and stuff are. So what can we expect there?
Well, usually in a lot of our programs, we do a lot of conditioning. We do a conditioning program a month out. Now, spring season is a little different, especially this for volleyball, because a lot of our boys already played sports. Like we had an interest meeting last week where it was some basketball, we had some soccer, we had some people who do other things outside or just very athletic. So conditioning wasn't really a concern going in, but we do have open gym. We want to see what their skill level is. So open gym is going to be on this Saturday at 12 to 2. Okay. Really maybe an hour and a half to see who's interested, who's coming, but really skill wise. And then the first tryouts will be next week. Okay. It'll be either 2 days. Right now we have it scheduled for January 31st. Okay. Around from 6 to 8, and probably again on February 1st. Another time, or we might move the day out just depending on scheduling wise, and that's on my part, but we're doing 2 days of tryouts. Okay. Now for everybody out who's coming, now we had about 20 or so people come to the interest meeting. We can only really accept 15, max is 15 players, so we have to make cuts, and really coaching staff really wants probably 12. Because rotation and everything is just hard to do.
Yeah, everyone has to get some play time.
Yeah, and you don't want too much, because then you have that one person who doesn't get enough playing time. And but I mean, it all depends on the person itself. And that's going to be next week, and then the first game is going to be what is it? March 6th. Okay, so we're going to be playing Madder Brighton Lakes on March 6th at 6 o'clock here at Cornerstone.
Okay.
So we're going to start up with a home opener. Okay, and we only have like 10 games scheduled, and I think that's good as a program. And as we grow for the next 2 years, we'll add, 12 and 14, and then after a third year, we can enter in going into districts. Because that's how you kind of build a program. Okay.
Yeah, that's really good news. So about the merchandise, I know that other sports teams in our school have, different merchandise, like custom hoodies and all that stuff. Will we be seeing any of that stuff for volleyball?
It really depends on the players in the program themselves. Now, I mean, I've said this, and if you came to meetings, I've said it with coaches, if you guys want equipment, gear, and all that stuff, you got to fundraise. So you just got to fundraise. Every program fundraises. That's why you see the football team with their hats and shirts, and you see the basketball team with their sweatshirts and stuff. They fundraise like crazy. They did vertical raise, snap raise. They've done some chocolates. They've counted things like that. Because on my part, I don't want to be biased towards one sport. That's not my role. My role is to make sure game operations, referees, things like that. So that really depends on that. Now for volleyball, I mean, they're probably wearing a warm-up shirt, long sleeve shirt they can get as well. Maybe a pullover because it's hot. Especially our gym, it's always hot, because it's old, but it's hot to walk around in. But I would encourage them to wear gear. I think that's something to have, and you keep. So it's just something to do.
Okay. Yeah. So guys, this has been the interview with Mr. Adamson about men's volleyball. So we look forward to seeing you all out there in the court, and see you all next time.